Today, we are going to describe this process to you in yet another way. We want to say to you that when you ask, you send rockets of desire into your vibrational experience. And we've been calling this your vibrational escrow, because it's where all that you want is held in an account that's just for you, that no one else is going to sweep in. Bernie Madoff does not have access to this account. And then we began calling it a vibrational reality. It's a vibrational reality because you're so excited about this physical reality. We want you to be excited about this vibrational reality. And today we are calling this vortex, a vortex of creation. It is a vortex, and the reason that we are calling it a vortex is because as law of attraction responds to this powerful point that the source within you is holding on your behalf, this much larger than you part of you, this much larger than the physical part of you, non-physical part of you, stands there holding this pure thought of what you've been asking for, and with the absence of resistance to this and law of attraction's response to that, there is a powerful vortex that is created, a vortex of attraction. And this is the most important thing for you to hear about this, where all cooperative components are being assembled. The question is, are you a cooperative component? And the answer is, if you're mostly joyful, mostly happy, mostly eager, mostly frisky, then yes, you could count yourself as a cooperative component. And if all of that is true, then you're saying to us, things work out for me. Ideas come just at the right time. I flow in and out of all things. I rendezvous with like-minded people. Wonderful things happen. I barely think about something that I want, and the path to achieve it is unfolding for me. I feel good all of the time. I wake up, I hit the floor with a feeling of enthusiasm for life. I feel reborn anew every day of my life experience. If that's the way you are describing yourself, then you are often, most often, in the vortex. But if you're ornery, if you're confused, if you feel resentment, then you're not in the vortex, not consistently. And if you're like most people, you're in and out, in and out. If you're like most people, you're out, and out and out, and out and out and in, and out, and out and out, and out and out, and damn mad about being out and in, and out, and out, and out, and joining an online chat group about how crummy it is to be out, and out, and out, and out, and out, and in, and out. If you're like most people, you're out mostly, on the brink of it sometimes, and in rarely, but you've been in enough to taste the sweetness of alignment, enough so that when you're not in there experiencing the fullness of all that is meant to be for you, you resent it. You know something is really, 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 really wrong. And that's why when you don't feel good, you want to blame this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one. Usually the person you live with is the person that gets the brunt of your blame about you not being in the vortex, but we want to lovingly give it all back to you. You get the credit, 100% of the credit, about whether you're in the vortex or whether you're not in the vortex. We just want to do the best sales job ever about wanting to inspire your desire to be in the vortex, because we see clearly what you've put there, and we know the expansiveness of who you have become, and we know the capacity for clarity and love that is really you, and we don't blame you a little bit if you're not completely up to speed with the fullness of who you have become. You feel awful and you want it. We just want to say to you, there's no way of filling the void of not being in the vortex other than getting in the vortex. Can't buy one more thing and bring it home. Can't eat something, drink something, shoot something. You can't find somebody else to give their attention to you, to love you enough. In other words, it's not possible for you to fill the void that is the fullness of who you are without getting in the vortex, which simply means you just got to stop doing that thing you do that doesn't let you in. So over time, we've been saying to you that if you have a desire and your belief is the same as your desire, that's really what positive expectation is, then it has to be, and it has to be fast, because your desire is pure, there's no resistance to it, and it's flowing to you. And you've proved that out in your own life, haven't you? The things you expect come easily to you. It's the things you don't expect that keep seemingly messing up your experience. Someone the other day says, I don't want to work there, but I have no choice. What an awful trap. I want more money, but I can't figure out how to get any. I want a mate, but I can't find a mate. And we say, when you want and you equally or greater doubt the thing you want, then you hold yourself in what feels like a tug of war to you, and it literally is a tug of war, because in your doubting you have introduced a resistance that does not allow you to go to the vortex where what you want is. So over time we've said to you, when you want it and believe it, it is. Then we began telling you that you are a creator. And that if you are a deliberate creator, which means you think more about what you want, you script it, you write about it, you talk about it, that more of the things that you want will begin to come into your experience. Be more deliberate in your intent, we said to you. Then we watched you. You worried about your thoughts too much then. You got the idea that every word that popped out of your mouth was going to bring immediate response to that word. So you said, cancel, 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 as you tried to suck back the word before law of attraction took it away and ran with it. And so then we began explaining to you that well-being really is the basis of your experience, and that you have much latitude and leeway. And that if you will think about allowing what you want to come, that there is a step 3 process. Life causes you to do step 1, ask. Source answers, and today we're telling you not just answers. Source literally becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you're asking for and holds it in this vortex where law of attraction is gathering. Step 3 is you got to figure out how to be a vibrational match. And then for a while, we offered you the analogy that when you ask, Source answers. And as law of attraction responds to Source holding the fullness of all you've asked for, as law of attraction responds to that request, the sensation to you is like a being called downstream, naturally toward the fulfillment of what you're wanting. So what are some of the things you do that prevent you from getting into the vortex? And you understand this vortex is just this high, non-resistant energy place where you rendezvous with the source. Esther's in the vortex, otherwise she could not receive Abraham with this clarity. In other words, she is up to speed with the vibration that is us, and that's why the conversation is seamless between the intent of that which we are offering and her ability to deliver it. That's in the vortex. When you're in the vortex, that's when your inspiration is at its greatest. That's where authors and artists and musicians, that's where those that you call masters often find what they call their inspiration. They're in the vortex where they have clear view of not only the idea, but the path to which it will unfold. When you're in the vortex, things unfold for you in a way that there's no question in your mind that that's the thing to do. You know how sometimes you say, I don't know whether to go this way or that way. You're not in the vortex, because if you were in the vortex, you'd say, I'm going this way and I don't care what anybody thinks about it. When you say, those people over there and their philosophy is really awful and their philosophy is going to bring us all down, you're not in the vortex. And it's not their philosophy that's bringing you down. It's you not being in the vortex that's not bringing you up. No one can bring you down, but your standards of how up you really are keep changing. And if you don't stay up to speed with who you are, you don't feel good. So, what's the difference between a higher, faster vibration and a lower, slower one? Higher, faster feels better. It's what joy and love are. Lower, slower feels worse. It's what depression is. It's what despair and fear are. Higher, faster has less resistance. Lower, slower has more resistance. So really, the operative word that we're talking about here today is, as I stand in my human form, what is it that I could do a better job of controlling that would make the most difference in my life? And we want to say to you, if you'll get a bead on your resistant tendencies and work them into less resistance, your vibration will raise. You'll hover on the brink of the vortex, or you'll pop in often. Once you get in there, you'll be able to maintain your vibrational stability longer so the vortex won't keep spitting you out. It's interesting. You do. You focus on something that makes you feel good and you get in there. Feels really good. Then you remember something. Start focusing on it. The vortex spits you right out. Because if you're not up to speed, you can't sustain that vibration, you see. A little slow going, but don't you now know more about the vortex than you've ever known? Don't you understand your relationship with it? Don't you know what your dominant priority is? Don't you understand your guidance system better? Don't you want to think the thoughts that feel better? Aren't you willing to be nicer to yourself when you're not in the vortex? Aren't you willing to let everybody else off the hook who hasn't been trying that hard to make you feel good? Aren't you ready to take responsibility for how you feel? Don't you sort of feel empowered to do it? Don't you love the feeling of being out of the vortex and then consciously, deliberately focusing yourself in? Don't you love coming into your own power? Don't you really like knowing that the universe has your back, that everything that you want's all queued up for you and it's just a matter of focusing yourself into it? Don't you now, from inside the vortex, appreciate more of those outside the vortex contrasting experiences that have caused you to expand? Don't you like knowing that you will constantly expand? Don't you like knowing that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Don't you like that it's going to be a constant tuning up? Well, that's the part you don't like so much, because you keep thinking you want to get in the vortex and get it done and live happily ever after. And we want you to hear something that is hard to hear, but it is so, so true. And that is, it's getting into the vortex that is the rush of life. Just like when you're hungry and you eat something, it tastes better than when you've been eating all day long. When you're out of the vortex and then you work your way in, that's that zest. That's that feeling. That's that feeling of motion forward, you see. You just don't want to make a career out of step one. You want to make a career out of step 3, which is moving into the vortex, into the vortex. And each time you're in there, then you can look at those people who you felt were responsible for your not being in, and now they look beautiful to you because they gave you the reason to expand, and in your moving into your expansion, you are thrilled with everyone involved. So you have this person, and they just harass you into expansion, 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 expansion. But then you can't get your eyes off of them because they're just so in your face and so inappropriate. So the very person that caused your expansion is now the person you're using not to take your expansion, and that's why you're extra, extra mad at them. But when you're in the vortex, you'll be extra, extra appreciative of their having prodded you into expansion, and you're using your guidance and wisdom to now take your expansion. There's still a little bit of, oh, Abraham, just get me in the vortex. Let me just get in the vortex. I'm tired of not being in the vortex. I just want to get in the vortex where good things can start happening to me. And we say, get in the vortex and good things will start happening to you. It is law. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is delicious to come together with those like you who are coming more and more, moment by moment, really, to know who you are. Today, we feel satisfaction. For these reasons, we have felt your willingness to focus for inordinate amounts of time, for the sheer purpose of understanding this vortex of creation that we've been talking about. It has been slow going here today. There was not much about it that was really fast moving. But in the process of that, what has been activated within each of you is an understanding, most importantly, of your ability, if you want to, under any circumstances, to become a vibrational match to the vibrational reality that precedes your manifestations. If you can leave here today understanding the relationship between who you really are and who you're being, and if you can leave here today with a new, resourced attitude about wanting more than anything else to tend to the relationship between you and you. In other words, to want to be in this vortex, knowing that you now know how to do it if you want to. Over the next few days and weeks, your exhilaration level is going to peak beyond anything that you've ever experienced, because you're going to have the benefit of deliberately focusing yourself into alignment with who you are. And then you're going to have the very quick, on the heels of that, evidence, manifestational evidence of things you've wanted for a rather long time coming quickly into being. And your sense of self-empowerment is just going to go right off the charts. We've enjoyed this immensely. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain infinitely